Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about our Mars sign. Okay, very exciting. But we're going to be specifying our Mars sign and how it relates to our athleticism. Okay, very interesting. Okay, Mars rules our physical body, our adrenaline, how we move our body, our muscles. Okay, so when you talk about Mars, you're talking about physical energy, body movement, athleticism. So it's really interesting because you can get an idea of what type of athlete you are, how athletic you are, the strengths of your athleticism and the weaknesses based off of your Mars placement. Okay, very exciting and very interesting because I was looking at mine and I was looking at some of my weaknesses and connecting to my Mars sign. I thought this would be a great idea for a video. And you can also, fun fact is you can also look into your rising sign for the same. But right now we're going to focus on Mars, okay? And before we get into that, if you enjoy my readings, okay, if you enjoy my readings, I do birth natal chart readings, okay, interpretations as well as tarot. All you gotta do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com, and I'll certainly get back with you. Getting back into our Mars sign and placement, okay, so this is not just the sign, but this is also the house that it's in. Our Mars sign and placement and how it affects our athleticism. How athletic are you? What are your strengths and weaknesses, okay, physically based off of your Mars sign? So we're gonna start with the first, okay? So if your Mars is in the first house or in Aries, okay? If your Mars is in Aries or in the first house, okay? You have a lot of energy to burn. This is gonna make you very athletic. Mars is at home in the first house as well as it's at home in Aries because Mars rules Aries. So Mars gets to operate in its proper function, which is all about energy. Mars and first house people, Mars and Aries people are very energetic. They have a lot of energy to burn. This is what makes them very athletic because of the amount of energy they have. Okay, a lot of placements do not get an abundance of energy. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, if you have a child and they're super hyper, check out their Mars sign or check out their chart in general. They might have a lot of fire placements, but definitely check out their Mars sign because I'm telling you, children with Mars and fire signs, they're like flying. They have so much energy, and this is the excellent thing. This is what makes Mars in first house, Mars and Aries people very athletic, is the abundance of energy. Okay, also with Mars and Aries and Mars in the first house, this can make you very in shape. Okay, this helps with body building, muscle building, okay, because Mars rules our muscle groups, okay, and in Aries is a fire sign. It deals with our muscles and our energy, so it's the perfect placement for a body that is developed in shape. Okay, so you know, this could be Mars and Aries could be like very much people who can build muscle really well, people who are very in shape, people who are ripped, okay, people who can tone up really well, okay, easy for building muscle, easy for being energetic. So Mars in first house, Mars in Aries, again, it's the home placement. People like this naturally are very athletic, naturally have a nice build, naturally can burn a lot of fat. Okay, you got to think with Mars in fire signs, it's a burner, it's fire energy, it's a burner. So this is why these people can get into shape. Okay, fire burns energy. It moves and burns energy. It doesn't absorb it. Okay, so again, on a physical level, you burn a lot and you can build a lot of muscle. So you are the epitome of energy and Mars energy. So very athletic. These people are very athletic. They have a lot of energy. These people can be great sprinters. Okay, like have a boost of energy. Their acceleration is great because of that fire energy. You got to think of fire like an accelerator. So you can be very fast, okay? Have very fast, powerful movements, okay? Very energetic, like I said. So these people are great for athleticism, and they're going to want to get moving because there's a lot of energy to burn. So athleticism goes well with energy. It's the basis, okay, of it all, because you're gonna need the energy to do all of it. The only weaknesses I would say when it comes to Mars in the first house and Mars in Aries when it comes to athleticism is discipline. Okay, you might be so super excited, so energetic that you don't have the time to really focus and learn some of the skills that is needed in certain sports and certain athletics. So yeah, you got a lot of energy, super in shape. Okay, you can be very super strong. However, I would say the only weak point in this would be maybe focus. Okay, maybe if a coach is trying to teach you how to do a certain skill, yeah, you got a lot of energy, yeah, you got a lot of power, but there's also skills that comes with athleticism. There's a technique, a way of how to do things, where to properly play a sport, or anything. And sometimes with Mars and Aries, you can be so energetic, so over optimistic, and rely so much on your energy and not your mind. You're not thinking, that you can mess up in this way. So I would say, aside from the focus, Mars and Aries, Mars in the first house is a very strong placement. You guys are very athletic. You guys have a lot of energy, a lot of adrenaline, and you guys are naturally very powerful, very strong. Again, that energy comes from the adrenaline. That's what helps you build your muscle. That's what helps you. That's what makes you move, but powerfully. This is what it is. So very athletic people, very powerful, naturally have a lot of energy. The only weakness would be focus. So if your Mars is in the first house of Mars and Aries, you are blessed here. Okay. You have a lot of energy. People can be jealous of you because of your body and how in shape you are. You don't have to work as hard to burn fat and stuff like that. Not that fat is even an issue, but if it's too much, it could definitely hinder you with athleticism. But you have a lot of that. These people are very fast. Like I said, they can make great sprint runners. Pretty much in any type of sport, they could do very well. The only thing would be technique. Have enough discipline and focus to learn the techniques. If your Mars is in the second house or in Taurus, okay, Mars in Taurus in the second house. Now, this energy is slower, okay? So compared to Mars and Aries, when it comes to your body movements, you are a lot slower. Mars and Aries is like really quick, fast, boom, boom, boom. Like they are the accelerator, the adrenaline, they just move. With Mars and Taurus, this is a slower energy. Taurus in the second house deals with stability, being grounded, security. So Taurus is all about being grounded. Taurus is not about moving and being all over the place. They're a slow energy. They're a more delicate energy. They're all about the slow and steady. Okay, you could look at Mars and Aries like the rabbit that was really fast, okay, and super, super fast. But Taurus would be the turtle that's slow and steady. Now, Taurus, you might be slow, okay? You might be slower. However, you're stronger. Taurus is very strong energy. And when you have Mars in the second house or Mars in Taurus, you can manifest a body that is very sturdy, that is very stocky, that is very strong and grounded. So you might not be built for like the sports that deal with lots of movement and quickness, but the sports that deal with strength, sturdiness, groundness, like wrestling. I know wrestling, you need to be very grounded. I know the shot put deals with like really stocky people who are really strong, like bodybuilders too. Taurus, this is perfect for Taurus because Taurus is definitely stocky, it's strong, it's stern, it's very grounded, and that will be your strength in athleticism. You might not be fast, okay? With Mars and Taurus, you might not be as fast, okay? However, you are very strong, you are very sturdy. So, you might be best for, the linemen in football. Again, sports that deal with that sturdiness, that strength, and that groundingness, that's what you're meant for. But your weaknesses will be your agility and your ability to move fast. Also, with Mars and Taurus, these are really good workers too. So they have a very good discipline to themselves. So whatever they're training on, they can work and build and build. That's why I said bodybuilders could have great Taurus energy because they know how to consistently build and be sturdy and be consistent. And again, their bodies are built in that type of way. So definitely very stocky, definitely very strong, definitely very grounded, but very slow. Okay. Mars and Taurus is definitely slower. Also with athleticism, You're also very connected to your physical body. Taurus is very connected to the physical body because it's connected to the senses. So again, that helps with body smart, okay? Because in order to be athletic, you got to be connected to your body, okay? Being body smart, kinesthetic smart, I think that's what they call it, is the connection that you have with your body, okay? Because in order to move and be athletic, you have to feel your body throughout. So Tauruses also have that strength where they're very connected to their senses, they're very connected to their body, so they can understand it and how to move it and how to work with it because of that connection that they have. So again, they're very earthy people, very grounded people. So if your Mars is in the 3rd house, or if your Mars is in Gemini, okay, Mars is in Gemini or the 3rd house, you're gonna be super body smart, okay? Your athleticism is gonna come from your intellect, okay? When it comes to Mars and Gemini, Mars in the 3rd house, this is Mars, rules our physical body, but your physical body is strongly connected with your mind. So Mars and Gemini, Mars in 3rd house people can be very multi-coordinated, very super coordinated. They can learn different skills with their body very easily. They can be very flexible, double jointed. Again, the coordination, doing multiple things doing different things at the same time with your hands, like juggling and all that type of stuff. The coordination, the body movement, the body intellect is at an ultimate high, okay? Mars and Aries, they're very body smart because they're literally energy, a ball of energy. So they're very connected to their bodies. And so is Taurus, because Taurus is very grounded. However, I believe Mars and Gemini in the 3rd house is the most body smart, because not only are they connected, but they're connected on a mental level. And you know how complex the mind is. It's one thing to be connected to your body on a spiritual, physical level, but when you're connected to your body on a mental level, there's so much you can do with it. This is why I say, like, Mars and Gemini, Mars in 3rd house people are very flexible, very body smart. They're the ultimate body smarts because they can use their mind to control their body and command their body in the strongest way. That connection to their mind and body is so strong. You could be a really great gymnast with Mars and Gemini, or Mars in the 3rd house. You could be a really good gymnast. You could be like, think about those sports that deal with complexities, like gymnastics, or especially gymnastics, like, that deal with lots of coordination, even baseball, tennis, like, the way you have to have lots of hand coordination, the eye to hand coordination, sports that really push your mind to learn specific skills. Basketball, there's a lot of dribbling, a lot of shooting, a lot of hand coordination. Geminis can do that. It rolls the hands, like, the coordination here is at an ultimate high, okay? This is why these people can be very double jointed. These people can be very flexible. These people can pick up dance routines. Like, they're very physically smart, okay? They're body smart in the most intellectual way. So it's a superpower for Mars and Gemini, Mars in 3rd house people. Well, the weakness here, however, is that when it comes to Mars and Gemini, or Mars in the 3rd house, you're not as strong. Okay, so we talked about Mars and Taurus and Mars and Aries, very strong energies, very powerful. Mars and Aries is fiery, it's spirit. They're all about muscle and energy, and Mars and Taurus is very sturdy and stocky. They're about the physical energy, the physical body. But when Mars and Gemini, Mars in the 3rd house, they're having a mental connection to their body, so it's less physical. So yes, they're very smart, they're very coordinated, they can do lots of cool tricks with their bodies. These people can do well in skateboarding and surf, because they're so body smart. However, they're not really strong. Okay, air is a very light energy. It's not a strong energy. It's not as physical and powerful like earth and fire. Air is light. So you could be weak, basically. Mars and Gemini, yes, you could be very double jointed. You could be super coordinated. You can pick up any type of skill because you're so smart. You can learn so many different types of sports because of how smart you are with your body. However, you're just not as strong. You're not blessed with the strength and the energy of people with like Mars and Taurus, or Mars in a fire sign or an earth sign. You don't have that energy. Air would be the weakest. Okay, you have more of a light connection with your body. It's more on the mental level, which again makes you very smart, makes you very double jointed, makes you very good when it comes to picking up skills with the body. However, you're not going to be the strongest because you're not so physically and energetically connected. You're mentally connected, which is like a more superficial, shallow connection. So Mars and Gemini, you might have to work harder when it comes to strength. You know, you might have to do more reps, lift more, and work harder on that part of you. And that's just a Mars and air sign. My Mars is an air sign, so I understand that even though I am strong, I do have to work and build on that strength. So Mars and Gemini can definitely manifest a body that is weaker, that is lighter, okay, in terms of strength, okay. But when it comes to speed, and that's another thing, speed. Not only Mars and Gemini in third house are very flexible, coordinated, and all that type of and smart, but they're also very fast and quick. Okay, they can move their bodies very quick. So use your speed and your intelligence more so than your actual strength. When I think of Mars and Gemini, I would think of like a point guard versus like Taurus, which would be like the center. You know, Mars and Gemini would be like the point guard because you focus more on your mind. How do you navigate the courts? How you dribble around and create a plan, versus like being the big juggernaut who like uses their strength to power through. You're gonna use more of your mind, and you're gonna move really fast and quick, just not with a lot of strength. So if your Mars is in the 4th house or in Cancer, if you have Mars in Cancer, the 4th house, when it comes to your energy, you're a little bit more lazy. Okay, you're not like Mars and Aries where you have all this like motivation out of nowhere. Mars in water signs, especially in Cancer, is more chill. You do things based off of feeling, how you feel. So these aren't the most motivated people. These could even be lazy people. Think of water. Water is just liquid, it's fluid, it just kind of goes with the flow. And so that's can be your energy. Is instead of initiating, you kind of are chill, you're relaxed, you're responding to your body energy. So a weakness with Mars in the 4th house or Mars in Cancer is laziness. Okay, is laziness. And even more lazier than Taurus, because Taurus can have chill energy too, but Taurus is very structured, it's very practical, and it's very disciplined. Okay, but with Mars and Cancer in the 4th house, this is more lazier. Okay, you move and your body moves based off of how you feel. You know, the motivation, the adrenaline is based on how you feel, and your feelings can go up and down. Okay, so there is kind of an instability in terms of energy. Okay, it's kind of unpredictable. However, with Mars in 4th house and Cancer in this emotional water energy, there's a lot of emotions that are behind your energy. So just like a fire sign, you could become very powerful and very strong, okay, and have a lot of energy. It just depends on how you feel. Mars in 4th house in the Cancer, these people can spike up adrenaline out of nowhere. If they're feeling a certain way, if their emotions are feeling a certain way, they can become very active, very motivated. If the feelings are there. So these do not underestimate Mars and water signs, as yes, they can come off very chill. They can switch, because water is the most flexible. Water can become hot, water can become ice, water can start boiling, water can be snow, it can take on very different forms. So there is an ability of having lots of strength and lots of energy here. It just has to be pulled from they have to be in the mood. They have to be in the mood and in the emotion. So these people can be very strong, very energetic, but they have to motivate themselves, okay? They have to be in the feelings. It's not automatic. And that could be a weakness when it comes to athleticism when you have Mars in Cancer in the 4th house, is you may be a little bit lazy. you may not be in the mood. May not have that automatic energy that a lot of these other placements do have. Okay, and that could ruin your performance in terms of being energetic, being motivated, being ready to move. However, again, like I said, when the emotions match the energy, you can move like no one else. Because this could be a huge tsunami, this could be a huge wave, this could be, just a lot of strong, powerful energy being fueled by the emotions. So do not underestimate Mars and water signs, okay? They just gotta be in the mood. Also with Mars and Cancer, or Mars in the 4th house, you have an emotional connection to your body. So you're very sensitive to your body and you feel your body. And this could be a very good strength for athleticism, because again, you need to be connected to your body, okay? In order to move it in the most efficient way, you gotta feel it. So there's a strong, deep, intuitive connection that Mars and Cancer, or Mars and 4th house people have with their physical bodies. So they feel it on a deep level, and that means that you can use it in a very deep way, in a very powerful, impactful way, because of that deep connection you have with it. And Mars in the 4th house in Cancer can also manifest flexibility as well too. Okay, so like again, Mars is your physical body, and whatever sign it's in represents it. So in water signs, in Cancer, which is a water sign, that's fluid, that's being flexible, that's being fluid. So Mars and Cancer people can have a very fluid body, a very flexible body, okay, because it's water. Water is the most fluid element. So it could be also very flexible as well too, because of that, which is great for athletics, okay? Less injuries because your muscles are more relaxed. But again, the weakness here is the relaxation. If you are not in the mood, you don't have the strong motivation. Okay, the strong motivation, and that can be, the problem. Also with Mars and Cancer, Cancer absorbs energy. It's a water sign that absorbs energy. It's our physical bodies. This is how our physical body works. So with Mars and Aries, we talked about how Mars and Aries is a burner. It burns energy, it burns fat. That's why a lot of these people can be very ripped, be very toned when you have your Mars in a fire sign. It can be very ripped and toned. It rules the muscles and it burns the fat. However, water signs, it's like the opposite. Water signs absorbs energy. Think of water, how it absorbs. Water is an absorber, so you can gain a lot of weight, okay, which could make you slower, okay? If you gain too much weight, it can make you slower. It can kind of get you out of shape. So you just got to be careful of that with Mars and water signs, is like gaining the energy, gaining the weight, keeping in the fat. You want to make sure that you're constantly moving kind of like in shape to regulate that, because you are an absorber. So it's not even necessarily like you're eating more than somebody else. I'm being really honest with that. It has to do with body chemistry, and everyone's body chemistry is different. Some people are absorbers, some people are burners. Some people are stronger, some people are weaker. And with Mars and Cancer, you're an absorber. Mars in the 4th house, you're an absorber when it comes to the body, so it can absorb fat, and that can slow you down too. So make sure you watch your weight, so that you can keep yourself in shape if that's what you need, because fat isn't a bad thing in itself, but when it comes to athletics, too much of it can definitely slow you down. So again, Mars in Cancer, Mars in the 4th house, very powerful people. Like I said, when their emotions run high, their adrenaline, their physical energy is like nothing else. Mars in Cancer, it kind of reminds me of like the example of like a mother who sees like their child, their little baby under a car, and then they just out of nowhere just pick up the car and lift it up and take their baby, because of that emotion and adrenaline, that almost like a force of nature that gives you some type of strength that you didn't know you had. Again, that mom picking up the car to get her baby because she's in like high adrenaline emotional mode. That is very Mars and Cancer to me. When your emotions run high, it's almost like it does magic to your energy in your body. That's why I'm saying Mars in Cancer and Mars in 4th house, or Mars in just in a water sign. Your body energy can almost be like magic, because you're chill at one moment and then your emotions switch and then you have all this energy. It's very, very flexible and a very amazing thing to see how you can use your emotions to drive your body in the most powerful way, which a lot of other placements cannot do. So very amazing strength. You tap into your emotions, you tap into lots of energy and adrenaline. So definitely think with Mars in 4th house in Cancer, the weakness here could be a little bit lazy. You don't move just to move. You could be chill for most of the time. You have to rely on your emotions to push you, which can be a great thing, or sometimes could be a problem if you need the energy, but because you're not in the mood, you can't unleash it. If your Mars is in the 5th house, or if your Mars is in Leo, okay, in Leo or in the 5th house, you're a fire sign, okay? So you got a lot of energy to burn, okay? Just like Aries, you got a lot of energy naturally. Mars in these fire placements gives you that adrenaline, gives you that heat, that fire, okay? That other placements do not naturally tap into. So with Mars in Leo, you're fiery. You already got a lot of energy to burn. However, you're a little bit different than Mars in Aries, okay? And with Mars in Leo, one thing I think is strong about Mars and Leo is that you have more control, okay? Mars and Aries, great athletes, amazing. The only critique I really had for them was the lack of focus. And sometimes in athletics and sport, a lot of times you need focus in order to learn a skill. It's not about how fast or how strong you are. It's about how you can use your mind. And Mars and Aries people, they can forget about the mind all the time. But with Mars and Leo, Leo being a fixed fire sign, Leos have more focus. They can discipline themselves a little bit more. They have more focus. They're more still energy. Okay. So that is a strength within itself, because if you're coaching a person with Mars and Aries versus coaching a person with Mars and Leo, I bet you the person with Mars and Leo is going to be a better student. They're gonna have more control, more discipline around their energy. They're gonna know how to sit still better than a Mars and Aries. Mars and Aries has so much hyperactivity, and Mars and Leo, they're hyper too, but they're a fixed sun. So again, they have more control, more discipline. Mars and Aries doesn't have that as much. However, what I will say is that because Mars and Aries is the spark, it represents the spark of the fire, the initiation of a fire, Mars and Aries probably is a little bit more energetic than a Mars and Leo. Okay, now you could argue with me in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Mars and Aries has more energy, or Mars and Leo has more energy? My personal opinion, Mars and Leo has more discipline. They can focus their energy way better than Mars and Aries. However, Mars and Aries has the more energy. They're the spark. They're the initiation of the fire. So they have a little bit more energy than the spotlight energy, which is Mars and Leo. Okay, so that'll be a little bit. And then another thing is with Mars and Leo, Leo's all about attention, getting the spotlight, people focusing on you. So a lot of times Mars and Leo, their motivation is not just their ability to move and express their energy like fire signs, but to get that attention while you're doing it. So Mars and Aries, okay, and I know I'm doing the whole Mars and Aries versus Mars and Leo, but you know these energies rival. Leo and Aries rival, and it's for these reasons. I promise I'm not doing this on purpose, but I can only explain Mars and Leo by contrasting it to Mars and Aries. But Mars and Leo is going to have the discipline. Mars and Aries is going to have the adrenaline, the energy. And they both are very energetic. Mars and Leo is very energetic, but Mars and Leo has the ability to be more focused, to be more still. And Mars and Leo does rely on attention and their egos and their presence amongst other people in order to gain energy. So Mars and Leo likes attention. It's about attention. So showing off your energy to other people. Okay, you know, Mars and Leo, they can gain a lot of energy running a race because it's in front of a lot of people and people are seeing them. Whereas Mars and Aries doesn't care about the attention. Okay, so they don't have to rely on that, which to me is a strength that Mars and Aries has, because they're just gonna go. Mars and Leo, again, they have all the fire powers just like Aries, but again, they like the attention. The attention gives them a lot more adrenaline, so they might need that. They might be a little codependent in that sense when it comes to energy. And so Mars and Aries is a little bit more independent and more self-willed than Mars and Leo. Okay, but talking about Mars and Leo, great athleticism, very strong, really good bodies too. Again, they're a fire sign, so they know how to build. Also, Mars and Leo rules the shoulders, the upper body. Okay, now our upper body deals a lot with our strength. We use it so much for athleticism, so they definitely have a great hand on here. Very great bodies, lots of great energy. However, again, like I said, a lot of times their energy is motivated based off of the attention that they're getting. So if they're not getting a lot of attention, their ego isn't connected to their bodies and this experience, they're not going to have the motivation, the natural motivation, like a Mars and Aries would, But again, like I said, Mars and Leo is a lot more disciplined, okay? So this is an athlete who's not only energetic, strong, but is also disciplined, okay? Can sit still, can listen, can take the time to develop, okay? There's just more, it's just an easier person to coach, an easier person to develop because of their more stillness. But they do rely on the attention of others. Okay, they do rely on the attention of others for that motivation. If Leo isn't getting attention, they won't be as athletic or active. Okay, and again, that could be a weakness. Okay, because again, Mars and Aries doesn't have to rely on that. However, when Mars and Leo goes in competition with Mars and Aries, a lot of time Mars and Leo gets all the attention. Leo gets all the attention, even though Aries could be doing the better job or be the stronger person because it's being done in front of people. Leo gets that boost and that attention that overshadows Mars and Aries. So basically I'm saying like Mars and Leos can look like the star athlete, even though Mars and Aries may be the actual better athlete. So very interesting with that. I'm so sorry, Mars and Leo and Mars and fifth house people, that I had to keep comparing you guys to Mars and Aries. I don't know why you guys and Aries are at feuds with each other, but every time, and this is Mars, which is very competitive, so I had no choice but to compare and contrast. But that's what I would say. Okay, to sum this up real quick, Mars and Leo, very super athletic, very energetic, have a lot of natural energy. However, they do rely on the attention of other people for that motivation, for that boost. Okay, which could limit them a little bit, and not as much as other placements are limited, but just a little bit. However, this is a fire sign that has discipline. This is a fire sign that can be more focused. I would say Mars and Leo is the most disciplined fire sign. Sagittarius and Aries, that could really be all over the place. But again, this is still another blessed placement for athleticism. Any Mars and fire sign is a blessing for athleticism. Now, if your Mars is in Virgo or in the 6th house, okay, this is an amazing placement for athletics, okay? Very amazing placement for athletics. Virgo rules the body in terms of details, in terms of maintenance. So when it comes to Virgo being in the Mars, okay, this is a great placement because Mars gets to really be connected to the body in the most productive way. Virgo is all about work, work, work. And because Virgo rules the body in terms of the details of it, the health, the maintenance of it, you can truly take care of your body really well with this placement, which is perfect for athletics. Okay, so Mars and Virgo is perfect for athletics. This is like the perfect student. I look at this as like the how there's like a military, there's the general, and then like you're the cadet, but you're like the top cadet because you perform the best, you learn everything the best. It's the same thing with Virgo. Virgo is very militant, and you put it in Mars, this is like physical, being like very physical and understanding of the body and discipline with it. So Mars and Virgos, they can train themselves to pretty much learn any type of sport, and because they're so connected with their physical bodies, they really master the body. Now, with Virgo being an earth sign, it's not a fire sign. Okay, so it doesn't have all this energy. Okay, it's not blessed. Like, if Mars and Virgo, you're not going to be blessed with all this adrenaline and energy like a Mars and Leo or Aries. You're not going to be that super energetic. However, you're going to be super disciplined when it comes to the body, and that is literally the best. Like, Mars and Virgo is a person that you can train them to train their bodies to do anything. You can train them in dance, you can train them in bodybuilding. They'll take the notes and work on it and build it. You can train them to do anything. Now, and they're very body smart. Now, they're not as quick as Mars and Gemini in the third house. Like, if I were to compare athleticism, like Mars and Virgo, to Mars and Gemini, because they're both ruled by Mercury, Mars and Gemini is more quick. They will be more quick with like the double jointing and all that type of stuff. Virgo takes a while. Virgo's all about the thought process. So they're not going to just come out like playing basketball and dribbling and just doing this like a Mars in third house, Mars and Gemini can, you know. They're not going to be as fast as picking up. However, when they do, they master it to the T. So that's the thing about Virgo when it comes to body smart, because it's very mental, just like Gemini. They could be Mars and Gemini or Mars and Virgo, very body smart. Mars and Gemini is going to be the quicker one. Mars and Virgo is going to be the perfected one. So you won't learn it as quick as a Mars and Gemini. You might not learn the skills as quick, but when you do, you learn it the best, and you do it the best, and you master it. You perfect it. This Mars and Virgo is perfection of the body, perfecting work, perfecting the body, perfecting your energy, your movement. So again, it's like these people can learn anything. Okay, you could teach them any type of sport. They're very connected to their bodies. They understand every detail, so they can be very coordinated. And again, Virgo is all about practice. So they won't learn it super quick like a Gemini, but when they do, it is perfected, it is mastered. So Mars and Virgo, you could be very athletic. All you gotta do is practice, and because you're so disciplined, Virgo is all about practice, rehearse, routine. You perfect these things. You can perfect anything. And to me, Mars and Virgo is the most organic placement for athleticism, because you start at such a neutral point, and you honestly use your discipline and your work ethic to develop it, and it gives you the ability to do that. So Mars and Virgo people, very athletic, very well disciplined, probably the best students of being an athlete, the best students when it comes to this. So very great placement. So yes, that is the first part of Mars and your Mars placement and sign, and how this affects your athleticism and understanding your strengths and your weaknesses. Okay, so very interesting topic. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll continue with part 2, going from Libra to Pisces and 7th to the 12th house. So let me know how you guys feel about this video. What Mars sign and placement are you? Okay, mix and match. Okay, because you could have Mars in the 5th house and Mars in the 5th house, but in Cancer. So you know, whichever parts apply, take them, because multiple placements will, based on how this is done. But I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you did, book a reading with me. I do natal chart, birth readings, as well as tarot. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com, and I'll get back with you on the next part of this video. Thanks for watching.